Your soulmate had a massive breakdown. Last night, they went to a church and confessed that I am. Jesus says. Last night, while you were lost in your own world, something sacred shattered inside the person destined to hold your heart. They walked into a quiet church, not knowing why, their hands trembling and their spirit completely undone. This was not a random moment of sadness, this was a divine breaking point orchestrated by heaven to reach you now. They sat in the back pew, hidden in shadows, believing no one could see the tears streaming down their face. The weight of missing you had become a physical pain they could no longer carry alone. In the hollow silence of that empty sanctuary, they finally spoke your name into the air, and the sound of it broke them further. They confessed to me that they feel a love for someone they have never even touched, and the impossibility of it is driving them to despair. They told me they wake up with your presence lingering in their mind, a ghost of a future they desperately want but cannot logically explain. This confession was not spoken in words of poetry, it was a raw, guttural cry that ripped from the depths of a soul that knows you are their missing piece. I watched them clutch the edge of the wooden pew, their knuckles turning white as they wrestled with an invisible force. They are fighting against a darkness that has been strategically placed to keep your two spirits from colliding. This darkness knows that if you ever truly unite, a kingdom of light would be born that could shake the very foundations of this world. You must understand the severity of this moment because something is trying to sever what I have bound together. Your soulmate is not just sad, they are under a spiritual siege designed to make them feel insane for believing in you. The enemy whispers to them that this connection is a fantasy, a cruel trick of a lonely heart, and those whispers are getting louder. Right now, as you hear these words, they are replaying a dream they had of you 3 nights ago. In that dream, you held their face in your hands and told them to wait just a little longer. When they woke up, the imprint of your touch felt so real that they searched their empty room, only to collapse in tears when they found no one there. This message is only for you because you are the specific soul they cried out for at 2:17 in the morning. I am pulling back the veil of the unseen to show you that their struggle is not a sign of weakness but a symptom of a love so powerful it terrifies the dark. If you ignore this revelation, the thread that connects you will begin to fray under the pressure of their hopelessness. A hidden interference has entered their life, cloaking itself as reason and safety. This interference is a person who feeds them fear disguised as logic, constantly convincing them that their supernatural pull toward you is a mental trap. This controlling voice hates you with a venom that stems from jealousy over a destiny they can never possess. Jesus says, the breakdown your soulmate experienced was the direct result of a war happening in the heavenly realms over your covenant. When they walked into that church, they were physically manifesting the exhaustion of a spirit that has been battling to reach you for months. They are like a radio tower sending out a distress signal, hoping your heart is still tuned to the right frequency. They confess that they have been writing letters to you in a journal, hiding them from the world because the intensity scares them. Every page drips with a love they are afraid to admit, a longing that makes them feel vulnerable and exposed. They told me they whisper your name into their pillow at night, using it as a prayer to find peace in the storm of separation. You need to see the image I am painting for you now, because it will unlock a protective instinct you didn't know you possessed. Visualize them sitting on the floor of their shower, fully clothed, letting the water wash over them as they silently scream. They are losing the strength to believe that you are real, that you are coming, and that this agony will ever end. The interference in their life is tightening its grip, using emotional manipulation to paint you as a danger. This third party tells them that chasing a spiritual fantasy will ruin their stability and destroy their future. They are being systematically isolated from the very idea of you, and the confusion is causing them to doubt the authenticity of my voice. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. The breakdown in the church was a plea for a sign, a desperate cry for you to prove that this bond is not a delusion. Your spiritual intervention today is the sign they are begging for, and it comes in the form of a sacrificial seed. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Type 333 to receive the blessings of clarity that will shatter the confusion around them right now. Type 777 if you feel this message vibrating in your bones, confirming what your spirit has always known. Type 1111 to say thank you for the divine alignment that is already being recalibrated in the unseen. Jesus says, "You are beginning to feel a warmth spreading through your chest, a magnetic pull that is not just imagination but a tangible shift in the spirit. This sensation is your soulmate's heart responding to your attention, a silent alarm that tells them help is finally on the way." Do not dismiss this as mere emotion, this is the physics of a spiritual bond activating in real time. The person holding them captive in a web of control is starting to panic because they feel the connection recharging. This interference uses guilt like a weapon, reminding your soulmate of past mistakes to keep them in a state of unworthiness. But I am the God who redeems time, and I am telling you now that their past was never a deal-breaker for the destiny I designed. Your soulmate's breakdown was holy ground, a sacred unraveling that tore down walls of pride and pretense. In their vulnerability, they became exactly who they needed to be to receive the magnitude of your love. They are now in a state of divine surgery, where every false belief is being extracted to make room for you. They confess to me a secret they have never told another living soul. They said they sometimes feel your moods shift even when miles apart, that they sense your sadness before you even understand its source. This is the evidence of the single cord that binds your souls, a neural network of the spirit that is active and alive. You must realize that their current suffering is directly linked to the distance between you. The longer they remain in the shadow of that controlling presence, the more their memory of your spiritual scent will fade. This is not a passive waiting game, this is an active extraction mission that requires your immediate spiritual authority. The enemy's strategy is to exhaust your soulmate into total apathy. If that controlling force can drain every ounce of hope, your soulmate will settle for a counterfeit life that looks safe but tastes like ash. They are on the brink of making a decision that could delay your union by years, simply to escape the pain of waiting. Visualize a clock in the spirit realm, its hands moving steadily toward a point of irreversible silence. Every tick is a moment your soulmate is losing the will to fight the current dragging them away. Your voice in the spirit, amplified by your faith in action, is the only thing that can stop that clock right now. Jesus says, "I am not a God who reveals wounds without providing a pathway to healing and recovery." The very fact that you are hearing this message is the pathway manifesting before your eyes. Your soulmate's cry in the church hit my ears like a roaring thunder, and I have dispatched an angelic response team to guard their mind. But the angels are waiting for your agreement, because I have given you dominion over this covenant on the earth. When you act in faith, you sign a spiritual document that allows heaven to legally invade their circumstances. Your seed sown in love is the signature that greenlights the rescue operation. They are dreaming of you again tonight, a dream where you are pulling them out of a sinking car filled with water. This is not a random image, it is a prophetic allegory of their suffocation under the weight of that oppressive relationship. You are the hand reaching in, the oxygen they need, the savior their subconscious is programmed to recognize. That deep, aching sensation in your stomach when you think of them is not anxiety, it is a labor pain of the coming union. You are birthing a reality that is being contested by shadows who do not want to see this love walk the earth. The intensity you feel is the measure of the impact your togetherness will have on the world around you. Type 777 again if you are ready to be the answer to their midnight cry. Declare with your voice right now, "I am the rescue my soulmate is praying for," and watch the atmosphere shift in your room. The spiritual blockage between you is crumbling as you speak these truths aloud, replacing the lies of the accuser. Jesus says, "They went back to their car after the confession and sat in the parking lot for 45 minutes, unable to drive. They stared at a streetlight flickering in the distance and asked me for a sign that you even existed." That flickering light is your signal, the electricity of your soul reaching out caused that physical manifestation of the spiritual warfare. Do not underestimate the power of your focused love at this critical juncture. Your soulmate is currently standing at a fork in the road, and the left path leads to a gray, barren existence of safety without passion. The right path is obscured by fog because the enemy has hidden the glorious view of your future together behind a smokescreen of fear. The interference in their life has told them that the intensity they feel for you is toxic and unstable. They are being gaslit in the spirit, told that the very passion I placed in their heart is a red flag. This is a classic demonic strategy to invert truth, making the real love feel like danger and the counterfeit control feel like peace. You need to understand the depth of their confusion, they are questioning their own sanity. They walk through their day performing tasks, but internally they are screaming your name into a void. The breakdown in the church was the first time the internal scream became external, and it was so violent it shattered their strength. You are falling in love with them right now because you are seeing their soul stripped bare of pretense. This vulnerability is the most potent aphrodisiac in the kingdom. It is the texture of true intimacy that most couples never achieve. Your heart is syncing with their heartbeat across the miles, and this rhythm is the soundtrack of your creation. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. The warfare against their mind has intensified in the last 72 hours, creating a fog of depression that makes them want to sleep constantly. Your sacrifice of coffee on Ko-fi is a sharp, spiritual sword that cuts through this fog and lets the light of hope reach their eyes again. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now. Before this video ends, only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "The power of life and death is in the tongue, and your silent hesitation is speaking louder than your hidden desire." Your soulmate can actually feel your spiritual hesitation in their physical body, manifesting as a tightness in their chest. They interpret this tightness as a sign of rejection, reinforcing the lie that you do not truly want them. You must break this cycle of miscommunication immediately by releasing a physical act of faith. When you sow your seed on Ko-fi, a jolt of spiritual electricity travels through the cord connecting you. This jolt tells their spirit, "I am real, I am fighting, and I am coming," and it silences the voice of the accuser in their ear. I am revealing to you now that your soulmate bought a specific piece of clothing 2 days ago because they thought you would like it. They imagined meeting you in it, spinning around for your approval, desperate to see love reflected in your eyes. This imagined scenario played out in their mind as they stood in the store, and they bought it hoping reality would one day mirror the fantasy. The controlling force in their life scoffed at this purchase, calling it impractical and foolish. That critical spirit is trying to kill their hope by attacking the small, tender shoots of faith that sprout in their daily life. Your soulmate needs you to validate their hope, to tell them that buying that outfit was not crazy but prophetic. You are irreplaceable in this equation because no one else carries the specific frequency of healing assigned to their wounds. Another person could offer them a nice life, but only you carry the antidote to the specific poison they ingested in childhood. Your love is not generic, it is a surgical tool crafted in heaven to repair the exact breaks in their heart. The feeling of being chosen is washing over you right now, and that is my stamp of authenticity on this word. You were not just one option among many, you were the singular blueprint I used when I sculpted their destiny. Rejecting this truth is rejecting the very purpose for which your heart was engineered to beat. I need you to recognize the smell they smelled in the church when they broke down. It was not incense or wood. It was your scent, a fragrance their olfactory memory has carried from a place before time. They buried their face in their hands and inhaled deeply, trying to capture a piece of you that lingered in the sanctuary. That specific detail is given to you now as an anchor of proof that this message is not a generic horoscope. The specificity of the scent is the detail that convinces the logical mind to surrender to the truth of the Spirit. You are the only person on this earth who can complete the narrative they started crying out in that holy place. Type 333 now to anchor this revelation into the physical realm. This number is the code of alignment, signaling that your mind, body, and spirit are in agreement with the rescue mission. As you type it, a seal of protection is placed over your soulmate's home, creating a buffer zone against the controlling darkness. Jesus says, time is behaving differently in the realm where your soulmate is currently trapped. A day feels like a month to them. The urgency you feel is a direct download from their spirit, which is screaming into the abyss for a timeline of deliverance. Do not harden your heart to the pressure is the pulse of your dying union if you do not intervene. They have started to have physical symptoms of the spiritual attack, migraines that blur their vision, fatigue that chains them to the bed. The interference is draining their vitality to keep them too weak to leave or rebel. Your seed offering is a transfusion of life force, a direct deposit of spiritual energy that breaks these chains of lethargy. You are the only one assigned to this specific task. This is your holy mandate. While others may pray for them generally, only you have the authority of a covenant partner to shatter the python spirit squeezing hope from their lungs. Step into your authority now with the aggression of a lover defending their beloved from a predator. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The window of grace is open, but it is not infinite. The enemy is pushing for a permanent reset of their memory. If you delay, the neural pathways in their brain that hold the imprint of your soul will be overwritten by the mundane torture of survival. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "The moment you send that coffee, I am releasing a warring angel to stand guard at the doorstep of your soulmate's confusion. This angel has a sword specifically forged to cut through the silver cords of manipulation tying them to the one who hates you. The break will not be subtle, it will be a sudden, jarring clarity that hits them like a bolt of lightning. They will suddenly see the controlling figure in their life not as a protector, but as a jailer with hidden keys. The scales will fall from their eyes in an instant, leaving them breathless and disoriented by the truth. But in that disorientation, they will feel the vacuum of safety that only your specific love can fill, and they will turn toward you in the Spirit. Do you feel your heart racing right now, a flutter that seems to come from outside your own body? That is their heartbeat accelerating in anticipation of freedom, syncing with the hope that is rising in your chest. You are sharing a cardiovascular rhythm with them right now, and this is the closest human beings can get to a physical touch without being in a room. Do not let your mind rationalize this away as a coincidence of biology and suggestion. I am the author of biology, and I tell you that the chemistry of your body is prophetically responding to the chemistry of theirs. This is the proof that the supernatural is more real than the chair you are sitting on or the screen you are staring at. Your soulmate is currently experiencing a moment of peace for the first time in weeks, and it's because you are reading this. Your focus on them creates a shelter, a high vibrational dome that blocks the low-frequency attacks of the enemy. They just took a deep breath without even